Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Jeeves here, old composer here on the World Music Reaction and Review channel. And I am revisiting Cowboy Bebop for two reasons. One, the very first listen that I took at, for this was Tank, was absolutely astonishing. Kind of progressive big band, a little bit of mix of retro with new school style composition, just a phenomenal sound. And so I definitely looked forward to going through more of it. But on a Twitch session I did about 2 weeks ago, I did listen to Space Lion for a little bit, and then I had technical issues and I couldn't save anything, and there were some issues. So as I did tell the Twitch members, and as I'm telling you guys, in being purely authentic, that I did listen just to a little bit of this and did kind of start giving it an analysis, but it's definitely coming back to it right now so we can listen to it together all the way through without any technical difficulties or anything. And so I'm bringing to you Space Lion from Cowboy Bebop. So I want to thank you guys all for your support. The link's down below for the cup of coffee. Join me on Twitch. And I'm just having a great time doing this right now. So far, so good. A couple of years of being this reactor guy, and I'm not burnt out yet. All right, guys, let's do this. This is from Cowboy Bebop. And the name of the track is Space Lion. All right. This is, maybe it's just where I'm at right now in the mood of listening to it, but this is so beautiful. You know, one of the two components we have here obviously is a beautiful lush string pad, and the chords that are being played in the string pads are chords where I like to call them, well, we also as composers know them as chords to suspend. Seconds, fourths, and ninths. If you're a musician, you know what I'm talking about. But there are these notes that hang out there that leave you in more of a positive, glorious kind of vibe, especially when they don't, what we also call resolve. So these particular chords even expand along with the beautiful lush sound, that ambience and ethereal vibe. This beautiful, I want to call it like garden of possibilities, sonic garden of possibilities. And what's beautiful about this, the chords in of itself and the changes are beautiful. The saxophone playing, this meandering, beautiful melody that he's playing, there is a discernible, I would say repeated at least twice thus far in a minute and a half. I'm going to say it was a hook, but the melody that came back and brought us back in again about 20 seconds ago. But the two things about the saxophone, it is such a personal, any of the wind instruments in my world, the way I think of it, brass, horns, reeds, flutes, piccolo, it's the breath of human pushing through these instruments, and each one of them have a very subtle expression that also blend the sound of breath into it. You know, even the richer, bolder bottom end trombones and stuff like that, and French horns and tubas, there's an essence of breath, the human spirit coming through these instruments. And with the saxophone, you can hear, as the notes tail off, a little bit of the breathiness of it, you know, a little bit of the soul of the performance because of that. Then, of course, on top of it, there is a beautiful reverb on it that kind of glides you and keeps you in that kind of path of possibilities. I don't know, this is the feeling that I get. I'm like going, you know, but I would love to see what this is up against as far as visual. But, excuse me, Space Lion makes it feel like you are just gliding in space. So I'm just loving this. Well, you guys saw it. It hit me. I do this, and it's goosebumps. Chicken skins for here in Hawaii. Goosebumps, I think, around the world. The addition of the arrangement of, there's very unique little sonic soundscape things that are capping in the background that are swelling of certain kind of non-tonal instrument, or not instruments. I don't know if it's soundscape, sound effects that are part of the track, or maybe that are part of the visual that it goes against. Very unique, and it adds just it kind of rattles things just a little bit from the pace that the composer set with the track. Now we get into the percussive aspect of it, and it's really nice. You can't help but kind of start. There's something about this kind of repetitive kind of percussion that kind of lulls you into a trance, and you kind of start getting into it, and then that vocal pattern comes in with the kids. Very unique harmony. Sounds very like cultures have very unique harmonies amongst themselves. You know, like the Samoans and the Tongans, or the Africans, or the Latin. You know, and then of all the subgenres of that, harmonies and cultures have been developed that are kind of signature. This kind of sounds like it has that kind of African bass to its harmony with the kids in the back. But what I love about what's happening here, once again, you've got these beautiful lush chords. We've established that's happening here. And that is the bottom of the glide, if you would, the magic carpet. But that pattern, that pattern became the zip line or the safe zone for us to listen to this one note. That note right there goes all through about 80% of all the chord changes, and it assists us, or me emotionally, when I sit and listen to this. I like to find that zip line. And as all these changes happen at the bottom, but at this point now, it kind of feels a little bit like Peter Gabriel's In Your Eyes. If you guys remember how that kind of had that bounce to it too, that repetitive kind of vibe to it. And a little bit of Phil Collins, what was it? Take Me Home. You know, there's that vibe, and it just keeps you moving forward and wanting to glide forward and stuff, and it's very hypnotic and very trance-like.
Ah, God, I needed that. I really needed that today. I don't know why, but I needed that. One of the beautiful things that was happening with this track is that, you know, when I came back in, we started experiencing just a slight drop off in the composition and then a slow rebuild. And as the rebuild came in, new different components of existing types of arrangements were coming in. As simple as the shaker. Well, that wasn't in that first section. At least I don't recall that first section of percussion. And now they bring the sax back in on top of the kids holding that pattern. And then there's a meandering solo voice that kind of wiggles its way through, and then the saxophone takes over from there. And so, you know, once again, I don't know what this married against visually, but the purpose of it for me here in my theater of mind was very journey oriented. Space Lion is the name of the track. I'm assuming it has something to do with some kind of ethereal ambient experience, you know, with what's happening on screen. But in of itself, it stands alone as a piece of music to listen to. As many as I'm finding on this journey through OSTs, these compositions and stuff, that, you know, I'm finding that they're like just complete videos of video game music with like a static picture or something that has hundreds of thousands, if not millions of views of people who can enjoy this, you know, the music of video games or anime or stuff like that. In this case, with Seatbelts, I believe, once again, that's the name of the band. I hope I'm right on that. I barely scratched the surface, but going from Tank to this means that I have a hell of a lot more to experience. So I can't thank you guys enough for taking me on this journey. I will be poking into the folder of all these OSTs that I did on that Twitch session that got corrupt and stuff, and bringing them out here a little at a time. But I want to thank you guys also for your support on Twitch. That link is down below. Tonight I'm going to be focusing on a game called Terraria? I don't know. I think it's a platform sandbox combo kind of game. But that link will be, Twitch link will be down below. Thank you so much for your support. Cups of coffee if you want to buy. All the links are down below. You guys take care. Have a killer day. See ya.